Good friends, welcome to engineering classes. Today we will learn about JMeter. So, what is JMeter? Why we use JMeter? To answer these questions, first we have a basic understanding what is performance testing and why do performance testing. Then we will relate this performance testing to the JMeter. Okay. First we will check what is testing and what is a test engineer, test analyst is supposed to do work on. Testing is basically, if you ask what is testing is to detect and identify defect the software application. So what is the objective of testing? Testing is done to detect and identify the defect in the software. So we have seen what is testing. We do testing to detect the defects in the software application before pushing the applications into the productions. So the testing is basically divided into four main parts. We will discuss each one by one. As you can see, the four parts are GUI, FT, NFT, and UAT. These are the short forms that was written here. GUI stands for Graphical User Interface. It is GUI, Graphical User Interface. Why we do the GUI testing? Here we check the user interface of the applications, like how the applications look like. Application looks like. This is the main objective to do the GUI testing. How the applications will look like and what main components we check in GUI testing are like menus, checkbox, box, drop down, images. These things we check in the GUI testing so that we can see how the applications will look like. Say, for example, there is one website. When we enlarge it, then the icons got placed from their respective position. So the application should work in all the resolutions, images and all should be placed in a place or not. All these things come under GUI testing. So it is just a normal testing type. The second one we will see is user acceptance testing. That is user acceptance, user acceptance testing. That is UAT. So in this user acceptance testing, what we check or make is helping documents and user manual. You have seen this user manual number of times, but like if you even if you buy some hardware products, some software, there will be a user manual like how to do it. So in this, what tester will do? Tester will go and use the applications as a user who don't know how the applications will function and all. Then you will see like I am getting stuck here. It will be better if I know, if I get the idea of some help, like I don't know where to go. We have two paths to go. So these things where the like the end user is expected to get stuck. There we can give some helping documents or user manuals that will help the end user. The objective of this UAT is to help the end user. So two type of testing we have checked. GUI, the objective is how the application will look like. UAT is to help the end user to use the application, use the applications. Okay. Now coming to the important two types. Here what the tester actually have to check the systems, do necessary changes. He should be aware of the architecture, performance, security, database testing. These things come under NFT and FT. So first we will talk about FT. Here FT stands for functional testing. The word functionals mean behavior. This way we have to Remember it. So what is NFT? NFT talks about behavior of the application. That is how application work. In simple English, we will say how application will work. This will how application will work. This will be checked under functional testing. That is behavior of the testing. Few important things that can come under and this functional testing is most important test database testing. Sorry, database testing. Others are calculation, calculation testing, handling errors, in errors, okay, and handling keys and sessions. So these things come under functional testing. Few extras are also present like links, checking links and existence, execution. These things we will talk in details in manual testing, but here we will just get a basic idea. So in functional testing, it talks about the behavior of the application, how the application will work, and check whether it is working accordingly is called functional testing. Here we will check database testing. That means you are an end user, you are a user sending request to DB. So whether DB is giving you a proper response or not, that we will check in the database testing. User is sending request to DB and we are checking the thing for response or not. So that is database testing. The basic example of a calculation, basic example of a calculation testing is, say you have made one application that is a some banking applications. Here you have some X amount rupees you have. Now you have withdrawn Y amount rupees. So you should have proper value, say Z. So Z should follow the proper rule of X minus Y. You have 100 rupees, you have withdrawn 50 rupees, so your balance should be 50 rupees. So to test this, whether we are giving proper formulas, we are getting proper results, we can create some manual test cases, give the input. If we already know what will be the output, and then we will match the output with the expected output. It's called calculation testing. This type of a manual testing. Error handling. Say we have to give some proper error that is understandable to the end. So in error handling, we are giving some messages that is understandable to the end user. Hmm. Example for this will be password info. Say you are giving some invalid password and try to log in again and again. If the error message is not there, you will not get the idea like what is getting wrong. So if the website provider gives a pop-up in the below or somewhere like you are putting the wrong password, that will be very helpful to the end user. So this come under handling errors. The other things is handling cookies and sessions. Things everybody know. Things are the temporary files. Cookies are temporary files created by the browser while the user is browsing the page through. Write it down. You are a user browsing some website. Then that page or website will create a temporary file. That temporary file is called cookie. Temporary file is cookie. The second one is sessions. Coming to sessions. Sessions are actually time slots created at the server sites. Okay, sessions are the time slots created at the server sites. While these cookies are the temporary files created at the user sites. In Let me give you an example of time sessions. So say for example, you are filling some online form. Take say one Google form you are filling, and but you have left the your PC ideal. So there are usually some time slots like after 5, 10, or 15 minutes as given by the website provider. It will say your idle time has exceeded and your sessions has timeout. Log in again. So handling this timeout sessions and also come under functional testing. Others are links, existence, and executions, like where where we have placed the link, proper links or not. So we need the login link. So hope we have not make any mistakes like putting some other links in place of a login link, and all is link existence. So existence means path. Existence. Existence means proper place or not. And executions means executed something. Say we are clicking some link, and that link is taking us to some proper place or not. Now we have two things: links existence and execution. So links existence is link is placed in a proper place or not in a website. Links executions means you got the link. Now you are clicking the link. Now whether the link is taking you to a proper page or not. That is link execution. Let's see what we are studying in the functional testing. So in functional testing, we are studying about the behavior of the application. The second one is this is the definition of the functional testing. The first one is database testing. We are sending some request to the DB and getting proper response or not. Second is calculation testing, proper calculation or not. Handling error message, giving some readable message to the end user. Handling cookies and sessions, and link existence and executions. That is non-functional testing. Performance testing also come under this non-functional testing. Let's see what is this NFT. It talks about the performance, security, and reliability of the software. So why we do non-functional testing is to check the performance, how well it is performing, how secure is it, like authorization, authentications come under security, and the reliability, how reliable is the software. These are some of the objectives that we for which we do the performance, that is non-functional testing. Now coming to the performance testing, as we have seen in our previous slide, performance testing is a part of NFT. Why we do performance testing? To ensure how software application will work under expected load. Okay, the objective of the performance testing is to find the performance bottleneck. Please note, if we see the objective of a random testing is to find defects. That is the objective of testing. But in performance testing, the objective is different. Here, the objective is to find the performance bottlenecks. So what do you mean by performance bottleneck? Means because of some application, some servers, utilizations, Kafka broker servers, any server we have, when we have some bottlenecks, these bottlenecks are affecting the performance of the software applications. So the objective of this performance testing is to find these bottlenecks. We will come to this later. What are the different types? In different ways we can measure the performance. First, check what are the different types of performance testing. A very simple one is a sanity test. In sanity test, how we will design this test is it will be like one user. Users means virtual users per flow. Means you have added one flow, give one users to that flow, and give some iterations, very less iterations, maybe 10, 20, give some 10, 20 iterations, and then try to hit the servers. Then check the response whether these messages are successful or not. This is just a very simple sanity test. What is load test? Load test is basically one X test where X represent X equal to expected load in production. where X is expected load in production. Like this is the load that our software application is supposed to get in the production. So this is the load. We will take it as 1x. Now coming to stress test. Stress test is basically 2x to 2.5x of expected load. Why we are giving this much load if it is not get anyway we will not get in the production? Because say for example, if any way like there is some sale on the website or some festival season, the load on the website increases. So we do the stress test to check whether how will software application will work under high load. So that's why we will do the stress test, because the load is high. Now we want to see how the application will work under high load. The fourth one is endurance test. Endurance test is a 2x test, but for longer duration. For longer duration. How much? Maybe 6 hours, 8 hours. So endurance test is high volume for higher durations. Means it is like a very heavy complete season of say Diwali. Very high, everybody is doing shopping and all. So the load is very high and throughout the day it is high. So for this we will do the endurance test. High volume and longer durations. Volume creation test. Volume creation test is to create some entries in the DB. Entries in DB means we will take an example of a mobile phone. If you open an application in a very new phone, it will run fast. But if you have already 100 applications in your mobile, and then you will install a new application and check the speed of that applications, so what you will notice that it is not that much fast because there is already data present in your mobile phone. Same way we will create some entry in the database, and then we will push extra entries in the database, like sending some extra load to the servers. So it is done to create a production like environment. So that's why we use the volume creation test. Coming to the some common performance bottlenecks, like we got it like it is affecting the performance of our software applications. So what will be the root cause? The root cause usually like 80 to 90%, 80 to 90% are because of these. Maybe it is CPU utilization. CPU utilization is high. Say when we push the messages, the CPU utilization has reached 100 percentage. Memory utilization is high, network utilization, and disk usage. These are few things that we monitor for a performance test. How we can monitor these? Through performance monitoring tools. Through performance monitoring tools, we can monitor these. These all for utilization. Example, App Dynamics. Through App Dynamics, we can monitor these. By now, we have got the basic idea like what is performance testing, why we do performance testing, why it is required. Now coming to the point of how we can do the performance testing. We can do performance testing with n number of software applications present over the internet. The basic and free one software is our JMeter. JMeter. Why we use JMeter? Testing the performance of web applications. Primarily we use it for testing the performance of web applications, and secondary we can use it for API testing also. So now we got the answer for all our three questions. What is JMeter, why JMeter, and what is performance testing? Now let's get a little idea about the JMeter application. I have written some of the advantages and disadvantages of the JMeter. The first one is free software. Means everyone can go over the internet and download it. It is an open source software. It is very easy to install, easy installation. The third one is easy to learn. We can simply learn. It is just a normal making some project, adding some elements, components and all. It is not much difficult. We can learn it. There is no coding required to learn JMeter. We have different reporting templates. We have different reporting styles, templates that we can use. Unlimited testing capability means there are a few options like run forever, unlimited number of counts we can give. So that is very helpful if you want to run some overnight test or some long duration of test. The sixth one is GUI and non-GUI mode. That is little bit complicated, but we'll give you idea. GUI mode means we are playing the test through this JMeter, Apache JMeter. Through JMeter, we are playing the test, and it is a GUI mode. But instead of playing the test through JMeter, we have created the scenario, save it somewhere, and then opening the command prompt and playing that saved scenario through CMD is called non-GUI mode. So GUI mode is playing through JMeter directly, and non-GUI mode is creating script in JMeter and then playing through command prompt. Disadvantages of the JMeter are it will not give much precise result. It is not very precise. Depend upon the host configuration. The performance of a JMeter will depend upon the host machines. Means if your laptop is very slow, it is possible that it will affect the performance of your test. While for some other paid software, that is not the case because they are shared over the cloud. The third one is local. Means, say for example, you want to play one test. You have started the test, but it is a 8-hour test. Now people from some other shift also wants to monitor the test, look into the test, but they can't do it because you have locally started the test from your machine and they can't monitor it. It will be better if we have started this test through some cloud so that everybody can like go to some web applications, open it and see it. So even if you have started the test, some other person, some other party can go and monitor it, stop it in case of some emergency, or it is like the test is not getting passed or rerun. All these things can be done over the cloud. It is easable to manage. So these are few advantages that why we don't use the JMeter and why we use JMeter. Now let's see how does JMeter work. JMeter, the first step is to get some virtual users. What is virtual user? Virtual user is a bot user that we have created that will go and perform some transaction on the target servers. Like say for example, I am doing some task. So I have recorded that script and created one bot user that will go and perform the task. It is a virtual user. So how will JMeter work? First, we will get the virtual user. These virtual user will go and send request to the target server. Target server may be some applications, web applications, mobile applications, anything that will go and send request to the target server. When the server start getting these requests, obviously the server will respond. So the third step is the server will start getting the request. Now collect these response from the server and generate report. So what we are doing in the JMeter is we will create the users, we will send the request to the server. When the server will respond, we will collect these responses and generate some report. So this is how does JMeter work.